Hi, I'm an old guy and I do maths. And the task ahead of us today is to graph this expression. Now that may generate a headache for some people, so we'll try and relieve that headache with a couple of insights. Now, the first thing, hopefully, is that you're able to recognize that this is the graph of this is the equation of a circular function. We've got x squared and y squared in here. These are minor distractions which we will deal with. But in its most basic form, we're looking at something that's structured like that, at least. Okay, so the other key way to deal with this is to be able to complete the square, being familiar with the process of doing that, because we're going to use some elements of that to try and simplify our route to a solution. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to gather the x's, and then we'll gather the y's. I'm leaving strategic gaps here. Okay, so we've got all the elements here. Put a plus there. Now, clearly, because there are gaps, I'm going to be adding some things in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a perfect square out of what I've got here and what I've got here. So this is the element of completing the square. So what I do is I halve this number, and I square it, and I add it. And I'll do the same thing here. So that's -2 all squared added to that side. Now, because I've added these two elements to this side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in order to keep this equation balanced, I'm going to add them to this side as well. So -3 squared is 9. -2 squared is 4. And we can do some tidying up here now. So I can write this as a perfect square, which is x minus 3 all squared. And I can write this as a perfect square, y minus 2 all squared. Nearly made a mistake there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this 11 out of the way. So we've got minus 11. Now 9 and 4 gives us 13. So that's plus 13. And you'll see that we are heading towards something that at least resembles this. So let's get this completely tidied up. -11 and 13 is 2. Right, so what have we got here, and what can we get from this in terms of a graph? Well, first thing I guess is to draw a rough Cartesian plane. This is y, this is x. You'll notice that the original instruction here was to, if I just move this page up, was to graph this. We weren't asked to solve it. I'm not sure that there are solutions for this. We'll need to see. Okay, so those of you who've watched other videos on circle graphs will realize that this works similarly to what you see with turning point form. So basically what we do is we make this equal 0, which means that x equals 3, and that gives us one of our coordinates for the center of the circle. So if we put a 3 there, then that's our x value, and 2 for y. So that puts the center of this circle here at 3, 2. And this is our radius squared. So r squared equals 2. So r equals plus or minus the square root of 2. So the square root of 2 is about 1.4 something. So what we know immediately is that we have a lower bound of our circle here and an upper bound somewhere here. But basically this thing does not touch the x-axis. So there's no real solution for x here, as I warned. And to get this point here, we basically take 3 and subtract the square root of 2, take 3 and add the square root of 2, and we get one of my terrible impressions of a circle. I really apologize, I'm not good at drawing these. But this thing does not touch the x-axis. There's space there. It does not touch the y-axis. This is appallingly drawn. But this point here is, if you want to know exactly what it is, it's 3 minus root 2, 2. And this is 3 plus root 2, 2. And this is 3, and the x value here is 2 minus root 2, so that's, sorry, we'll make that plus root 2, that's that point there. And this point in here is 3, 2 minus root 2. So what have we got from this? Well, having gone through the various steps here that look so similar to completing the square, we've got ourselves the equation of a circular relation which generates a graph with a radius of the square root of 2 centered on 3 and 2. That's this point here. And so I hope that what started off looking as though it was going to be a major headache is not really such a great problem. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.